What's going on, guys? This is Young coming from you from the Arcane Lighthouse, bringing you another deck profile. I'm going to be covering Dark Spirals today, and my opinions and the fixes, edits, whatever you want to call them, that I found while playing the deck. The biggest criticism of the deck right now is that it's not very consistent. I agree with them on that, and there's some minor changes that I have in this deck to make it more ideal for wherever the duel goes in terms of like different situations, fighting rogue decks. But enough talk, we're gonna go straight into it. So the first thing I want to run, you want to run 2 Spyral Master Plans. So this card, since Resort was hit to 1, this card you do not get both effects once it gets sent to the field to the graveyard to add a Spyral monster or Spyral monster and Spyral Resort. It does net you a Spyral mission card, so that's always good too. Alright, moving on. We run cards that run with Master Plan to get in the graveyard as soon as possible. We have Dark Refere. So you discard a level 5 or higher Dark monster, special summon him, and then once per turn, I believe his effect, you can send 1 Dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's like literally a good card to have. Instead of running a third of, I want to run one Armageddon Knight. This automatically nets you a Dark monster in your graveyard, like right off the bat. Alrighty, so next card, we're going to run 3 Spyral Super Agents. So this card is the bread and butter of the deck, well, the lower tier anyway. So this will get you, as long as you can set up the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, you'll be able to pop off a card with his ability, and you can basically special summon him, so basically freeing up your special summon, normal summon for the turn to summon something else. Now next, we have 1 Spyral Drone. You really want to set up your board to the point where you can summon him without worrying about it. Ideally, you want to special summon him to set up to look at the, like, basically, like, excavate or whatever, like, not excavate, sorry, I'm thinking about different terms. Look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's library, and then, or deck, whatever, and then really arrange them so that way you can set up your plays, so as long as they do not shuffle, you should be fine and able to predict your opponent's top card, enabling you to do your plays, special summoning, and all the Spyral shenanigans you can pull off. So next card, we have 1 Quick Fix. It is limited to 1. So when it's summoned or special summoned, you can basically search out for a Spyral Gear card, which this deck has a lot of. We have 1 Spyral Sleeper. This card is very mid to late game grind state, shoop to whooping ace card right here. So all you do is you banish 3 Spyral cards, and you can special summon them. You can send 1 Spyral card from your field to the graveyard to basically, or I believe, yeah, it's 1 spending, yeah. You can target one target Spyral card you control and 2 cards your opponents control, and then basically pop them off the board. We have 1 Spyral Resort. So this card is a 1-of. It makes it so that if you send 1 card you control from the field to the graveyard, the Spyral monster you control can attack your opponent directly. Really good if you have a huge beater like Sleeper on the board. So yeah. Next card, we have DD Crow. I'll get into this a little bit. I personally like running 1 of him, but I think 2 is a little cloggy, especially in a deck that is notorious for bricking really hard to the point where you can build houses. Next card, we have 1 Distrito. Basically, your synchro, your tuner of the deck, other than like some of the hand traps, and it's very risky, paying half your life points. You really have to know where your plays are going with this. We have 2 Ash Blossoms. I personally like running 2 of any kind of card unless it's a primary engine card. But when I play this deck, I noticed that I was drawing this way too often, which most people think will be good, but there's one game where I like brick super hard. I drew 3 of these in a Ghost Ogre, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm playing anymore. But moving on, we have 2 Ghost Ogres. Same principle I find with the Ash Blossoms. Alrighty, so flying right on the board, we got 3 Terramorphings. Search out your field spells. We have 1 Spyral Resort, main engine card of the deck. That now is set to 1. We have 3 Dragon Ravines. Send your Distrito to the graveyard once it gets back sent to the bottom of the deck. We have 3 Spyral big reds. This is the monster reborn of the deck for the Spyral deck. This is what enables you to do the shenanigans, such as when you send a bunch of cards to the graveyard, like in terms of like Spyral, Drone, Spyral Quick Fix, or Spyral Master Plan. You can kick off their effects a lot quicker without wasting your normal summon. We have one Spyral Mission, Assault. We have one Soul Charge, one Rhoda. We have two Foolish Burial Goods. So this card, we'll get into more depth, but basically it sends a spell card or a trap card from their deck to the graveyard. We have one Foolish Burial, one Dark Hole. We have one 1-for-1, and we have one Set Rotation. Now, getting into the trap cards, we main deck one evenly matched. I like running one because running more than one, you really have to have the mentality of either you have to perfectly set up your board to the point where you know that you're going to have fewer cards in them during your combat phase, or after your combat phase, sorry, or you're entering a duel knowing that you're going to get your butt pounded because you're just going to have the mentality of you're going to lose. So running one, I personally saw it way too often running at one because I really, like, my personal opinion is I would rather see my main engine cards the first game, so that way I can effectively make all my plays without getting bricked or like stopped, and have responses rather than clogging up my board with sideboard cards to hinder my opponent's plays. So the reason why we run this is because Spyral Assault and Spyral Mission Rescue, so both of them are effects that basically trigger in the graveyard once you banish them. That's why we run Foolish Burial Goods, to get that effect faster. One enables you to special summon from the graveyard, that is Rescue, and Assault lets you special summon from your hand a Spyral monster card once you banish it. And we have one Spyral Gear Utility Wire. This enables you to bounce one card on the field from your opponent's side of the field by basically, as long as you control a super agent on top of their deck. So if there's a tricky card that you can't get rid of, or some monster that you can't get over, you can just bounce it and really push for the game. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. This extra deck is based off my LGS, the playstyle a lot of people play. I personally find a lot of rogue decks that I have to get over. So starting off, we have one Borolo Dragon. We have one Firewall Dragon. We have two Spyral Double Helix. We have one Trigate Wizard. One Ib. One Decode Talker. One Proxy Dragon. One Ancient Fairy Dragon. One Black Rose. One number 11 Big Eye, because I like taking stuff, and I have opportunities where I can special summon this. We have one number 42, one number 41, one Sylvan Princess Sprite, and one Liskrisk Recital Starling. This is what you're gonna get. You want to basically pitch Quick Fix or Drone to the graveyard to search out that DD Crow, and you're really not gonna do this that often. But when you do, it's nice to have a DD Crow to banish, get some grave hate in there. But it enables you so that Quick Fix does not get banished once it leaves the field, because technically it's not on the board; it's underneath as a material. The sideboard I will not be covering. Sideboard really is dictated by your LGS and your local playgroup. So that was my take on Dark Spirals. There are certain cards that I wanted to mention, such as Allure of Darkness. That really, if you run multiples of dark monsters in your main deck, it really adds some consistency from what I'm seeing. Even running one lone upstart is a good option, because at least you're getting through your deck a lot faster, searching for your main engine cards. But other than that, that was my take on the Dark Spiral deck. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Bye.